You found the Lawless Astrology channel. Today we are going to be talking about Jupiter and Gemini. And what does that mean? Jupiter will be in Gemini for the next year. And so this is a whole kind of planetary energy shift that is going to be impacting us all. And so I wanted to do a quick sort of take on this. We're going to be doing a deeper dive that will be out later this weekend with the legendary Ronnie Pontiac. He is going to be bringing his incredible breadth of knowledge of historical facts and kind of bringing it all together. He's totally amazing. So, but in the meantime, I wanted to do a quick take, kind of break down where Jupiter and Gemini will be for the different signs in the houses and just give you kind of a little bit of a preview. So if this is content that you're interested in, please stick around. You have found the Lawless Astrology channel, and here what we do is we look at co-creating with the cosmos. We look at how the planetary energies are there for you to live the best life that you possibly can. I try to teach a little astrology along the way, but the most important thing that I can do is hopefully help you find some peace of mind in this kind of crazy world that we're living in now. So welcome, stargazers. If this is content that is interesting to you and you find valuable, please support this channel by liking, subscribing, sharing, click that little, the little bell button. Anything you can do would be incredibly helpful. It's a brand new channel, but not new in the sense that I've been doing astrology for over 20 years. I studied with the renowned Stephen Forrest, who many of you may know. So anyway, I bring a little something different to the table than Ronnie, but hopefully this content will be a nice warm-up for the deep dive that we're going to do later this weekend. So Jupiter expands anything that it touches. And that's what's incredible about Jupiter. We look at Jupiter as kind of the antidote to Saturn, which can restrict things and kind of give it form and structure. Jupiter actually comes in and is like a vitamin B shot. And it's like, let's go. We can do this. And it's optimism. And Jupiter is really a place that gives energy to whatever area it is in your personal chart. And so for everyone over the next year, Jupiter is going to be in the sign of Gemini. And so I'll talk a little bit about what that planetary energy together means. But I first just want you to understand what Jupiter is. So Jupiter is the largest planet. It's beautiful. People kind of get this really energized feeling when you look at a Jupiter planet. So wherever Jupiter is in your personal chart is where sometimes that you have a little bit more luck, where you have a little bit more benefit, where you have a little bit more charm, something that flows a little easier for you than potentially other planets in the sky. So when I think about Jupiter is a double-edged coin. So Jupiter expands things and it's lucky, but at the same time, we have to kind of look at sometimes too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing. There's a story that's kind of illustrative of Jupiter being potentially too much of a good thing. If you don't manage Jupiter correctly, Jupiter can expand things to the point that it is destructive. So let's say you have a drinking problem and you are down to your last few dollars. You don't know where you're going to be getting money for the rent, and you stumble upon an envelope that has $500 in it. It is the luckiest day of your life. That is so lucky. You now can pay your rent. So on your way home, you see a bar and you stop at the bar, and it's the luckiest day of your life. So you're going to obviously have a drink, and then maybe you might buy a few drinks for your friends. And before you know it, the $500 is gone. You're feeling sick. You walk out at 2 a.m. and pass out on the street, and then you get arrested. And was it the luckiest day of your life? Well, you did $500. That's pretty lucky. But what you do with it then is where the Jupiter has to come into play. So again, we are co-creating with the cosmos. The cosmos will give you opportunities to, what's that saying? Just enough rope to hang yourself with? That is Jupiter. So yes, things will flow. Yes, things will come to you out of nowhere, but you have to still live consciously. And so that's one of the most important things that I think that we need to understand about Jupiter is that you can sleep through a Jupiter time. You can kind of just let things come to you. You can be sort of lazy. You can overindulge. So collectively, we all have Jupiter entering the sign of Gemini. Jupiter has been in the sign of Taurus, and that has been an energy. Taurus is more earth energy. And so it's much more in the body. And so one of the things that has been wonderful about Jupiter and Taurus is it has really kind of gotten a lot of us much more in touch with our bodies. And we've all kind of taken a little bit of a collective break in some ways. But at the same time, what I've heard from clients and friends is I feel stuck. There's a lot of stuck energy with Jupiter and Taurus. It can kind of feel like you're bogged down. And so that's kind of more the negative end of Jupiter, where it's like, okay, yeah, you're given this, or Jupiter and Taurus, you're given this break, but at the same time, it's like the positive way to use that is to, cultivate things for the future, to plant seeds, to surround yourself with beauty. These are all Jupiter and Taurus kind of themes, but it also can be like, I don't know where to go next. I have not seen any progress because it's a planting, sowing time. So now we've got Jupiter coming into Gemini, and people are waking up a little bit. And there is this energy of, I want to make progress. So we go from this Taurus earthy energy into much more of a mind air energy. So Gemini has everything to do with communications. So think of publishing, think of media, think of social media, think of transportation. These are all Gemini themes. So things that are a lot more electric. So when I think of Gemini and Jupiter, I think of like electrons. Do you remember learning about that in high school? I didn't take science in college. But it's just kind of this electric, bubbly energy where now your mind is waking up and you're saying, I don't want to be stuck anymore. I'm not going to be stuck anymore. Things are going to move forward. So collectively, things are going to start to like vibrate and hum and move forward. And there isn't going to be this restful, stuck energy anymore. So on the positive side, there's tremendous breakthroughs that we can expect with things like technology, artificial intelligence, anything that is kind of like really fast moving. Social media, media in general, and transportation, like I said, are all things that are ruled by the sign of Gemini. So I hope that that's helpful information about Jupiter and Gemini. I am going to go through in a second here each one of where it is for you and your looking at your sun sign, which a lot of people already know, like, oh, I'm a Capricorn or I am a Scorpio. So we can go through your sun sign, but also look at your rising sign, which actually, to be honest with you, is even more pertinent because I'm going to be kind of touching on what house this is in for your rising sign, but it will impact your sun sign as well because it will be in opposition. So enough with the technical stuff. I'm going to move on, but hopefully this gives you a little information. And again, we're going to be doing a really nice, long, deep dive with Ronnie Pontiac that I know he's going to bring all sorts of like intellectual and like deep, cool ideas and, tell you things that I'm not going to tell you because I am much more of the heart-to-heart kind of astrologer, and I look at people's charts, and I'm here to kind of bring it down to earth and make it real for you, but he has all sorts of great information, so I'm really privileged to have him. So let's look at where it is in your chart. Okay, so we're going to be looking at each of the sun and rising signs. So if you don't know where your rising sign is, you can go to a website or an app like astro.com and you can find out what says your ascendant or rising sign. It's the same thing. So where your ascendant is your rising sign. So you can listen for each of those different signs. So Aries, you are going to be over the next year looking at things like where you have wanted to communicate. You're going to get an extra jolt of energy. Have you ever wanted to start a podcast? Have you wanted to start a YouTube channel? Have you wanted to write a book? Any place where you have something to say, you are going to be energized. There's going to be energy around your neighborhood as well. Siblings is also an area over the next year where you're going to see some expansion and change and some new ideas and some fresh energy come to light. So really focus in on communication, siblings, go on a short road trip. These are all things for Aries that are going to be favored for you. So Taurus, you have the money house. So this is a really great opportunity for you to communicate that you want to raise. This is a time where you are favored for anything in the financial realms. It's also a time where you're going to have fresh ideas about what you value in your life. And it is a good time potentially to get a new pet. It is a good time to plant a garden. It is a good time for you to get out into nature. You're going to be energized by anything that is of the natural world, but also keep in mind that this is a really good time for you when it comes to your finances. So don't let this opportunity slip by. When Jupiter goes through your second house, this is an opportunity for you to truly make more money. And so bring your ideas out into the world because finances are favored. Gemini. This is another one. Don't let this year slip by. So Jupiter is in your home sign, which is really exciting. So if you are a Gemini sun, you are getting energy for who you are as a person and how you self-identify. And if you are Gemini rising, that means Jupiter just crossed over into your first house. And so here we have your self-identity. There is an opportunity for you, again, to take your ideas and feel confident, to start to feel more alive and refreshed into who you are as a person. So Jupiter in Gemini can take this kind of what you've been wanting to do and really kind of give it a turbo boost. So anything that has been mulling around in your mind and you felt like, I'm not good enough to do that, this is the year to do it. This is the year to feel into where you want to be. Now, sometimes we have to be a little practical. So with Jupiter and Gemini, we have to look at our limitations a little bit because you're going to feel like you can do it all. You're going to feel like, you're on top of the world. And in a lot of ways you are, but remember that story where what's lucky. So you have to be conscious and co-create with the cosmos and really kind of, feel confident, feel good about yourself because you deserve it. This is your year and take advantage of it. But also really think through what you're doing and think about long-term implications because Jupiter and Gemini can be a little chaotic, can be a little all over the place. There can be kind of a duality where your mind is just so alive that you're thinking of, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. So you may have to look to other parts of your chart to kind of narrow in on what it is that you want to bring out into this world. So now we've got Jupiter in the sign in Gemini for Cancers and Cancer rising. So you guys get actually a little bit of a break. This is a placement where you don't have to do anything, which is nice. I'm a Cancer, so I'm going to take that. So this is where things are just going to start to come to you magically. It's a much more internal Jupiter placement. So it's kind of like, It's funny to say this because Jupiter, any sort of Gemini energy is not meditation, but there is that sort of like pulling yourself in and letting your mind wander. And it is about healing energy. There's parts of you that are going to be healed just by kind of breathing. Breathing exercises would be a really great thing to do here. I think that tapping into your creativity is going to be important for you over the next year. What makes you feel comfortable, creative, what makes you feel kind of at home in yourself? Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself this year. This is the year for you to kind of understand that Jupiter's doing a lot of internal work that you may not realize until next year when Jupiter comes out into Cancer. So you've got kind of a very internal year where you can heal a lot of old things, but you may not even know it's happening. There's a lot of unconscious work going on. Okay, Leo, you guys are used to doing things on your own and being the leaders. Well, this is the year for collaboration. This is the year where you need groups. This is the year where you need other people's ideas to make your ideas come to life. So, join clubs, join in any sort of groups. It can be online groups. Get ideas from social media. scour YouTube. This is where you need to collaborate with other people, start a Reddit group. You need to brainstorm with other people, bounce your ideas off of other people. Remember that sort of electron, Gemini and Jupiter? You are going to be really favored with friendships this year. You can meet new people, and those people will bring good luck into your life. Like, they will help accelerate your growth path. So, Virgo, this is a great year for your career. So you're going to get that extra energy in your place out into the world and how people see you. You're going to benefit from you getting a promotion. This is a good year to ask for a promotion. It is a good year to change careers. It is a good year for you to kind of really think through where you want to be in another 10 years. So where do you want to be actually in 12 years when Virgo is back in your Gemini and Jupiter is back in that 10th house. So this is a really good year where you are favored when it comes to your career, your place in the world, how other people view you, your status. Those are all themes that you're going to be working with for the next year, so don't let that slip by. Libra, you guys are in the 9th house this year, and so you guys are favored for travel. So take a trip that you've always wanted to take. Travel is going to be very important. Also, learning and philosophy. So if you have wanted to get a degree or go back to graduate school, this is a really good, favorable time to do that. Any sort of legal matters are going to be also favored for you. So if you've been dealing with anything having to do with the justice system or law, that's going to be a favorable time for you. And really just anything that expands your mind. Your mind is going to be alive and wanting to learn everything. You're going to soak things up like a sponge, and you're going to develop new ideas and philosophies and how you see the world. And one of the great way to do this, and that's why I said plan a trip, that is one of the best ways that we can all expand our mind, is seeing other cultures and learning about other cultures. So that's Libra. Let's move on now to Scorpio in the 8th house. Scorpio, you lucky dogs, you are going to be healing on a very deep level. So you guys actually like to do deep work. So Jupiter and Gemini is actually really a nice placement for you because it's in the 8th house. And so what's going to be favored for you is therapy, counseling, astrology, tarot cards, anything that you want to receive messages from something bigger than yourself to heal deep wounds and inner wounds. This is a really good time for this. It's also a really good time to deepen your intimacy with your partner. So if you have if you kind of felt detached at all, Jupiter and Gemini is going to give you ideas about how to reconnect with your closest, most intimate partnerships. It's also a good time that favors things like inheritance and other people's money. So take advantage of this time as far as if you are have a tax situation, it can be favorably, there can be a favorable outcome. So if you've struggled with the IRS, that's really a definite take advantage of this year to kind of clean up that mess. Anything having to do with your unconscious but old wounds, this is the time that you're going to have a fresh perspective and you can heal things and move through things in a new way. Sagittarius, love. Yay. So for those of you Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising who've wanted a partnership, this is the year for you. This is the time that you can definitely attract new people. There will be karmic people coming into your life. And with Jupiter and Gemini, that is like a very favored energy for mind connections and fun and experiencing new people. And this is a time that you can find, Sagittarius isn't always known for its commitment. This is a time where you can actually find somebody that you can commit to and who can commit to you. So really kind of know that you can't go it alone during this year. This is a year for partnerships. It is a year where you get to collaborate. And again, like commitment can come into your life. So this is a really good year for favoring things like marriage and long-term relationships. So looking at Capricorn, we're in the 6th house now, which is your health, weight loss, exercise routines, anything on a day-to-day basis, like the chores that you do around the house. While that might sound boring, it is the biggest part of all of our lives. And so when you have Jupiter and Gemini coming into the 6th house, you're truly favored for getting your life in order, organizing things, fixing up your closets, having new ideas. Again, Jupiter, Gemini, expansion of ideas. How do you personally want to improve yourself? This is a big self-improvement year for you, and you can make things happen in ways. You've got magic and energy and refreshed energy. I said it again, sorry. But that's what this is all about, is kind of just taking your day-to-day habits and giving them a new way of looking at them and bringing some joy in a new way. Curiosity. Be curious. Maybe join a different kind of gym. Maybe try a different kind of exercise routine. Sick of the Peloton? It's not COVID anymore. So, go join Orange Theory. Try something different, or yoga. Anyway, and don't forget, you can, it's a good time to get all your blood work done. I know it sounds boring, but you're favored here. It's you can kind of look and say, oh, my cholesterol is a little high. How do I want to improve that? So that's a good stuff for Aquarius in the 5th house. Aquarius, you guys get to lean into your creativity. You get to lean into romance. So this is a fun time to date other people. People will come into your life that very unexpectedly, and you will have all sorts of fun. So this is a year to kind of experiment and have fun with other people. This is also rules children. You'll be favored for things like conception. This is a good year, just anything where you create. And so artistic things are favored. Go on a date at an art gallery. But at the same time, a lot of times people will say to me, I'm not artistic. Creativity is not art. It can be art, and art is creative, but creativity is where you take something that wasn't there before and you bring it to life. And so that's really the energy. What do you want to manifest? What do you want to bring to life? Where do you want to take two disparate ideas and put them together and create something beautiful? Do you like creating new recipes? That's creative. There's all different ways that we can be creative in this world, and this is the year for you to sort of lean into that. Conception is creative. You're taking two people and making a third, right? So this is the energy of where do you want to bring something new out into the world? What have you always wanted to do? This is kind of a dreams can come true year for you. And also get out there and have a little fun. Romance is very favored for you this year. And finally, Pisces. I know you guys always have to be so patient because you're last in the zodiac, but you are patient, so that's okay. So family, your tribe, anything having to do with old things, history, ancestry, anything that feels like it's time for you to move to the new phase, Jupiter and Gemini is going to be favoring that for you. So anything where you want to buy a home, you want to create a family of your own, where you want to nest, that's all favored for Pisces this year. So this is all about home and family. If you want to start a new decorating project in your home, you need a refresh, this is the year that you should do it. This is the year to, kind of get that new kitchen that you've always wanted. So I hope this is helpful for everybody. Jupiter is also about duality and doing things twice. So sometimes, you try something and it doesn't work. Don't give up. Try it again. Okay. So keep that in mind for all of the signs. And I hope that this is good information. We are going to have Ronnie Pontiac back on, and he is going to do a much more kind of intellectual deep dive on Jupiter and Gemini because he's a really smart guy. Not that I'm not smart, but I have a different kind of astrologer, and that brings me to the point of if you want a reading from me, I have been doing this for over 20 years, and my specialty really is helping people figure out where their gifts lie and how I can help them live the best life that they possibly want to live. So you can find my information at Lawless Astrology, just like the name of the channel, lawlessastrology.com. And you can book a reading with me, or you can sign up for my newsletter. The newsletter is a work in progress. I'm coming, but please do sign up, because then you'll get like a monthly horoscope, and it'll be exciting. It's all the things astrologers do. But yeah, here we go. There is a reason and a season for it all. The universe is conspiring to help you. Do not forget that. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, engage with this channel so more people see it, because we are only a month old. But before you know it, we're going to be taking the world by storm. So thanks for always. Yeah, sure. Why not? Thanks for everything always. And